In this video, I'm going to recap the Champions League action from this week and where we stand heading into the final match day, and also preview the big game this weekend, the North London Derby. I've been thinking about it all week already, and I've got plenty of thoughts on the game, so stay tuned for that towards the second part of the video.
Oh, yeah. I'm not the type of brother to play with. See a lot of people acting like oh yeah. All ball players sounding like haters. We the young kings of this generation, oh yeah.
What's up, y'all? Welcome back. Pitchside with Parker. Thanks for checking out this video. If you're new around here, be sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on the post notifications so you don't miss any videos that I put out. And be sure to leave a like on this video as well. Really helps me out, helps the channel, helps more people see these videos. Now, my question of the day is, who is gonna make it out of Group H in the Champions League? There's 3 teams tied on 9 points. It's Manchester United, Leipzig, and PSG. Which of those teams is gonna make it out, and which of those teams might end up in the Europa League? Let me know that in the comments, because that's where we're gonna start today with the Champions League results from yesterday. The marquee matchup, the one everybody was watching, everybody was looking forward to, PSG versus Manchester United. And this was a huge collapse in the second half for Manchester United. It was certainly a dramatic game. I mean, PSG went up early thanks to the goal from Neymar. I don't know about y'all, but I had some issues while I was watching on CBS All Access. I think their servers went down, so I actually missed that first goal. But Rashford leveled things up for 1-1, and then the big flashpoint came with Fred. Now, he put his head up next to, I believe it was Paredes from PSG, and he ended up only getting a yellow after they looked at it on VAR. And I have to say, as an Arsenal fan, I felt pretty hard done by that decision, because to me, he attacked Paredes or swung his head more than Pepe did last week against Leeds, and Pepe was obviously sent off for that and is now serving a 3-match ban. So I was very surprised to see it go as a yellow card. He definitely should have gotten a red card there, and United got away with one. But he had plenty more to say about that in the rest of the game, because in the second half, he went in on a reckless challenge, gets his second yellow card, and I know a lot of people are saying he got the ball in that challenge, and yes, he did. But he was still diving in, and honestly, even if that one wasn't technically maybe a yellow card offense, he was walking the line. I don't blame Fred as much as I blame Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he should have seen at halftime, you know what, Fred is lucky to even still be on the field. We need to get him off. We need to put somebody else on there and not risk him getting a second yellow card. To me, that was a managerial mistake from Ole. Nothing really new, as we know that his team selection and his in-game tactics tend to be his weak point, but that really changed the game. PSG went on to score again. It was a pretty lucky goal, if we're being honest, from Marquinhos. However, it was enough to see them through, and then they score again in stoppage time with Neymar hitting on the counterattack. I mean, Man U put up a good fight, even down a man, but this was a really bad result for them. And when you look at the 2 games they've lost in the group, the result against Başakşehir and then also this game against PSG, they were very winnable games. So I'm sure that the United fans out there will be feeling like, you know what, we missed some opportunities. And if we had just taken care of business in either one of those 2 games, they would have already secured qualification into the round of 16. But now they're in a position where, thanks to Leipzig's win earlier in the day against Başakşehir, all 3 teams are on 9 points, as I mentioned earlier. And Başakşehir does deserve a shout out here, because you know what? As much as Man United made some big mistakes when they beat them, they have really put up a fight in this group, and they nearly beat Leipzig as well yesterday. An outstanding hat-trick from Irfan Kaveci. The free kick he scored at the end, the perfect way to cap it off. Unfortunately, Red Bull scored just a couple minutes after on, I think, a deflected shot. It was a wild game. Leipzig came out the winner in the end, and it was a huge day for Leipzig, because now they're in contention. They could even still finish first. So Group H, certainly interesting. It will definitely come down to the last day. Leipzig will play Manchester United, and PSG play Başakşehir. So you'd favor PSG to get through, but that Red Bull and United game should be interesting. And then the other crazy group right now is Group B. All 4 teams are still in contention. It was a huge win for Inter Milan over Mönchengladbach. Gladbach, much like United, will feel aggrieved and feel like they should have wrapped up a qualification spot by now, but they are still in first place in this group. It's a long shot for Inter. They would need to win and get some help against Real Madrid, but anything is possible. We could be seeing Real Madrid. We could be seeing PSG in the Europa League if they finish third in their groups. Like, the fact that Shakhtar Donetsk have done a double over Madrid in the Champions League is really fantastic. As easy as it is to chalk it up to a crazy year, Shakhtar have been really good in those games. Madrid have been woeful. And look, I love to see it. I love to see the other giants fail, if I'm being completely honest. The other result from this week that shook things up a little bit was Atleti not being able to hold on against Bayern in Group A. If they had won that game and they were up 1-0 for the majority of it, they would have confirmed their spot in the round of 16. However, they gave up a penalty late. Thomas Muller slotted it away. And now in Group A, 3 teams are alive to fight for second place. Atletico still are in pole position. If they are able to get a win, they'll secure it no matter what the other results are. But Salzburg and Lokomotiv Moscow are both still in the running in this group. So a couple of minnows there that could potentially take a big step up on this final game day that's coming up next week. All in all, there's 7 spots up for grabs, and there's 14 teams that are still fighting for a spot in the knockout stages. So a lot of teams are going to be heartbroken. I'm sure there will be last-minute drama. It's setting up to be a fantastic, fantastic final day. And a couple games to keep your eye on. Obviously, there's been a few that I've already mentioned. Ajax and Atalanta in Group C. That was one of the groups of death, I would say. They will be playing essentially a play-in game for second place. Atalanta leaving that open after dropping points against Midtjylland. And then Lazio and Brugge should be an interesting one as well. Most people thought that Dortmund and Lazio would easily get away in that group, but Brugge got a big win yesterday, and so now that becomes a winner-take-all for second place in that group as well. So definitely looking forward to it. Should be fun next week, and I'm sure that more videos will come out of that. However, let's move on and talk about a couple teams that are very much not in the Champions League, but the 2 that will come to blows this Sunday at 11:30 Eastern Time in what is, so far, I would say the biggest match of Arsenal's season. It is, of course, the North London Derby, with Spurs sitting in first place in the table. It pains me so much to say, but you know what? Hats off to them. They've had a great start to the season, and Arsenal certainly have not. But the wild thing to me about this game is that even though Spurs are the team in first, the pressure doesn't seem like it's on them in this game. It still somehow feels like the pressure is on Arsenal here, because 3 straight home losses. They've lost 4 out of 5 in the league. Arsenal are just in a little bit of turmoil right now. Yes, they play this afternoon in the Europa League. That game actually kicks off in about 2 hours as I'm recording this video, but honestly, I'm not even thinking about that too much because Arsenal's already booked their place in the round of 32. I'm really just all set on Sunday, and I'm very worried about how this is going to go for Arsenal. There's been a lot of questions about Mikel Arteta recently, the setups that he's gone with, the tactics, and especially the style of play, because I think even as Arteta has changed formations, lack of creativity has continued to be an issue for Arsenal. It's something that, myself certainly included, has been really bothering a lot of Arsenal fans. And you have to wonder, against a Spurs team that has been really good defensively, how is Arsenal going to be able to cope? What are they going to be able to come up with? And who is really going to provide a goal against Spurs? Because as I'm thinking about it, I just don't know who I would put my money on. Aubameyang is out of form. Lacazette hasn't even been playing. Bukayo Saka obviously is an option. I would say he's most likely, but he's probably more likely to be the one to provide an assist. And I mean, outside of that, I'm pretty sure Gabriel is the second leading goal scorer for Arsenal right now with 2. Oh man, it's looking shaky for Arsenal at the moment. But what I'm curious about is how Arteta, what formation he will go with in this game. What I would like to see Arteta do is go with 3 at the back against Tottenham. Now, the reason I say that is because honestly, again, given all the circumstances I just listed, I would be really happy with a point against Tottenham. I think getting a point and stopping the losing streak in the league would be enough for me to be happy as an Arsenal fan. So I would set up defensively, and I know that it rubs some people the wrong way, but the one thing that it has been able to work is in big games for Arteta. So I think he should do that. The issue right now is that we don't know about the health of David Luiz, who you would certainly want in there. If you're going to play a back 3, he is better in a back 3. And he's definitely one of the 3 best center backs right now at Arsenal. So you're looking at Gabriel was definitely a mainstay in there. Probably Rob Holding, but who is that 3rd center back if Luiz is not healthy after that big clash of heads last week with Raul Jimenez? I think you could potentially play Kieran Tierney as a center back. I do prefer him at left back, but if you're going to go super defensive, maybe you could put Tierney at center back and then maybe put a Maitland-Niles at left back, because I do want to see Saka in a more advanced position if he's going to play. And I think he must, because he's really the only creative force at Arsenal right now. But man, I would just go as defensive as possible in this game. If El Neni is fit, I would play him alongside Ceballos. I think Xhaka is just... he was so bad in the last game. I really don't want to see him play, although I think that there is a strong chance that he and Ceballos is the partnership. But whether he goes 3-back or 4-back, the big challenge is going to be containing Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. These two are on fire to start the season, and Kane has caused problems for a lot of teams, the way that he's been dropping deeper and allowing Son and Bergwijn to kind of cut in behind him and get in behind that defense. So that will be a big challenge for Arsenal, and if they've showed anything this year, it's that they don't handle things like that very well. And it's mostly because of a lack of good defensive midfielders. There's never midfielders in good positions. So you could imagine that when Harry Kane drops a little deeper, he gets in that pocket between the center backs and the midfielders. That's where he could cause a lot of trouble, and where I'm really worried about Arsenal. But I do think that 3 at the back would work better than 4 in that regard, because when you do have 3 center backs, one of them can potentially step up and challenge a little higher up the pitch, block him when he gets the ball to feet so that he can't turn and pick out a pass. I think Gabriel, for instance, would be really good at that. Tierney would be pretty good at that. So again, I think 3 at the back is the way to go. That would be their best bet at neutralizing Kane especially. But I gotta be honest, as great as some of this sounds in my head, I don't feel good about Arsenal this weekend. I'm curious what your thoughts are. Definitely leave them in the comments. But if I had to make a score prediction, I would say 0-0 Arsenal draw with Tottenham. That would be a great result in my book. But I'm curious to hear what you think. I definitely think a loss is on the cards. And given the amount of pressure that's been on Arteta, if this is an ugly loss to Spurs, he is going to be under the most serious heat that he's faced as an Arsenal manager. I still don't think he could potentially get sacked on this result, unless it's like a Spurs against Manchester United type of thing. It could get ugly, and that would be the last thing that Arsenal needs right now. So hopefully they can at least scrape a point. Any result I'd be happy with, and I am definitely looking forward to the game this weekend. Of course, there will be a reaction after that too, so you already know I'll have you covered with the videos. But anyway, thanks to everybody who checked this one out today. Really appreciate y'all. Continue showing that support. Like these videos up. Subscribe if you're new. Tell your friends about the channel. We are still on that road to 250 subscribers. We're slowly ticking upwards. My goal was to get it by the end of the year. Maybe that won't quite happen, but help me keep growing, people, and thank you for that. So that's all for this one. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Good luck to Arsenal this weekend. Please take down Spurs. Peace.